Now in this video, we'll be discussing the basic differences between the service-oriented companies and the product-oriented companies. So this is like a continuation based on the previous video. In the previous video, after graduation, we have discussed there are two possible options where we can get into a jobs, or you can do masters. So probably the jobs are mainly focused in two different types of companies, product-based or service-oriented companies. So let's see what is the basic difference between them. Now, the service-oriented companies mainly work for others. So in simple words, we can say they work for others. Means, just like an example, let's say if there is a government based project, probably they need to set up something like maybe they need to do some kind of online registrations for specific things, or maintaining some government websites or online registration process. Like everything is online nowadays, so they need someone to maintain this. Probably the government is really, what they do is they really outsource this to any of these companies. Like most of the government based projects here in our state probably handled by TCS. Probably what they do is they are responsible for doing all the job, like maintaining the servers or maintaining the online registrations, developing the softwares, developing the codes, probably. So they really work for others. So the main intention, they just have a pool of clients, and this is one example. They have any other client, let's say they also outsource to some let's say banks, and even they need someone to maintain the banks. Like the main core business for the banks is finance, but what they do is they really outsource to any one of these companies, and they are responsible for maintaining the network or developing the softwares and ensure they work smoothly. So most of the service oriented companies, they have various streams. They probably look into the candidates with the various skills, because they have variable hundreds of clients or even more than that, depends upon the size of the organization, and they are mainly responsible for satisfying the customer and setting up the projects or finishing the projects as per the customer requirement. But whereas the other type of company, we have something like product based companies. Now product based companies, what they do is they develop their own products. Just like if you take an example of Apple, this Apple manufacture their own devices. Or even if you take an example of Cisco manufactures their own hardware products, even the softwares used inside that. And even if you take another example like Microsoft or any other organization. So I've just listed few of them which are most popular ones here. But what they do is they need the candidates who can develop the codes. Probably let's say they need to run some kind of they need to introduce some kind of new device. So they need someone to design the architecture of the device as per the market requirement, and then develop some codes like kind of chip level programming, or even design the system architecture. And even they need a people who can test the codes, whatever the code developed, it's working as per the requirement or not, something like that. So they are majorly responsible for developing the different products or the devices or applications as per the requirement. And choosing or working for these product based companies is always really a better choice compared to the service oriented companies, because you get involved in a production development life cycle, which will give a more better career options, and the growth options as well as the package options will be more. But at the same time, you need to be very good in core subject. So whatever the stream you are in, you need to be an expert in the core subject stream in order to get into a product oriented companies.